Good morning. Thank you for joining me on this segment of at Helen's Place. As today, as you know, I started out the year basically coming to you about what is going on, not only in church but also in our homes. And the thing that we're facing today is mostly COVID and how it is affecting our lives. So I want to talk about some key things today to stop the spread of COVID within the family unit. As you know, the pandemic spread it last year tremendously into the community, into the homes once the schools were open. So now we have to figure out how to stop it even more. So, what we want to do is pay close attention to our bodies. That's number one. We have to pay close attention to our bodies to realize if we're having any type of symptoms. Maybe we might have a headache. Maybe we may have a runny nose or a cough or just body aches. So, what we can do is at the first sight of any type of symptoms, we want to kind of think, should I go ahead and do social distancing? Should I go and isolation or, you know, to protect my family from COVID or protect others from COVID? So don't just think if you have a runny nose that, especially this time of the year, I mean, during the summertime, chances are it might be your allergies or may be just a cold. But when we're in this season of the pandemic, in the wintertime when it's cold, if you're having a runny nose, you don't want to second guess and just think it is only sinuses or common cold. For the sake of others, you want to go ahead and quarantine for about 10 days. You can quarantine in your home. If there are other members in the home, that mean that you would not have to have contact. Wear your mask. The people in the home would have to wear their mask and sleep in separate quarters. Don't sleep in the same bedroom if you have a spouse or or your small children. It's a way that you can stop the spread. So, and I want to say that you don't always have to have a test to just use common sense. If I'm not feeling well, it's a chance it's COVID. So, for those who have to go to work, although, yeah, you probably will have to get tested in order to return to work. But if you're not working and you have some symptoms, then you want to just isolate, quarantine away from family members. Because even though a lot of people say, well, we can't see the virus, no, you can't. But there are some things that you can, symptoms that you can pick up on that let you know there's a possibility that that person is infected. And the number one that I say for as far as appearance and symptoms is a runny nose. We can see that. We can't see the headache. We can't feel the body aches for, as far as someone looking at someone else who is infected, they can feel those symptoms, but we can't. So just to stop it, if we have any symptoms that are related to COVID, headache, chills, fever, cough, runny nose, shortness of breath, we want to stop, isolate, quarantine, separate, social isolation. You have to social distance. You have to do that. Even we should go as far as saying social isolation. Quarantine is just quarantine. But when you social distance, you need the social isolation also. Social distance is just, that's a new word for me. The CDC may get me for that one. Social distancing is just being in a place where you are social distancing from people around you. Social isolation, it's just not being in places where you have to social distance. So we want to take some more measures to keep from spreading this because we want to bring a halt to this COVID, but we are finding ways that we can go out in public with an N95 or a KN95 mask. And if you don't have one of those, just double up with the regular mask to give that extra protection that you may need. Continue to social isolate. Good hand washing is everything. And if you do, if you're one of those people who, don't think, oh, I just came from the Walmart or whatever, wear some gloves. And a lot of people think that even when you wear the gloves, you're going to get the infection. No, wear the gloves. Once you take the gloves off, there's a way to take those gloves off that you're not going to contaminate yourself. But if you don't know how to do it, I'll do a video on that also, but I'll come back and do it at a later time. Take the gloves off and sanitize or wash your hands. Um, and that is another way of protecting yourself before you go back in your home and start touching things where you live. So we want to take care of ourselves. We want to continue to boost our immune system. A lot of us have underlying conditions. Some of us have conditions we don't even know about, and we may not find out that we have those conditions until we come across and become infected with COVID, because COVID is going to amplify or make those underlying conditions 100 times more than what they were. So we may not even know that we're suffering from some things, but COVID will bring those things out. And not only will it bring it out, it will magnify or worsen uh, the underlying conditions that you have. It just, the virus just attached to it, whether it's inflammation in your body, mucus, that is where the strongest hold that COVID can get on you is through mucus, through the nose, you know, through your saliva. Because as we know, that's where they do the testing, that's where they pick up on the virus, it's from the saliva. So when people speak, we're letting out little particles, and those particles is coming from our mouth, from our saliva. So our nose and our mouth is where this virus attacks us. Um, so we want to be careful. That's why we wear the mask, okay? Because COVID is in the nose and in the mouth. So, some good things that you can do for that. You can do, if you go out and just for extra precautions, you want to do some inhaling, some inhalation therapy where you want to steam some good antiviral herbs. Some people are recommending, what is that one? It is an herb. Um, Geez, I lost my train of thought. But you can also use something simple as oranges, lemons, any type of citrus fruit. You can do that for inhalation therapy also to get it in your nose and in your mouth. Um, Thyme, that's what it is, a herb called thyme that you can steam. Just put it in a pot and some water and steam the thyme. They are saying that that's a good antiviral. It has antiviral healing properties in it. So we want to do that. But if you can't find any time because it's not always available in the stores, you may be able to order it offline. I did find some in Walmart, and it's about 98 cents for a little package. You get one leaf or limb of it, and you steam. Put it in the hot water and maybe put a towel over or something if you can, and just inhale it. Inhale it in your nose and in your mouth, or do the other one with citrus fruit. But these are some things that you can do naturally to help boost your immune system also. Um, Even if you have taken the vaccine, I want to say that, and you've been vaccinated, you've been boosted, you still can do the inhalation therapy. You still can inhale some antiviral herbs or some citrus that is going to help kill that virus in your nasal cavities and in your mouth so that we don't spread it. I mean, when the first pandemic first came, I did that each and every time I went out the house. I did my little steaming, and I didn't get the virus in 2020, not that I know of. If I did, it was very mild. And also in 2019, that's why they call it COVID-19, because it came in 2019, although it wasn't as uh, around. We didn't have the surges that we're having now. So, and the virus mutated. It went from, maybe just a cough, a lingering cough that wouldn't go anywhere, and a runny nose. The variants have changed, is what I want to say. Now we have all these different variants, and what I want to say to you is, whatever symptom you have, that's how you can identify the variant. And some people have some symptoms that a variant has not been identified for. So, whatever symptoms you have, if it's a headache, treat the headache. Use Tylenol, Advil, whatever you take. I'm not diagnosing or prescribing. Check with your doctor, but whatever you've been taking in the past for a headache, take that to eliminate the headache. If you are having a cough, I like elderberry, but there are also some good flu and cold, Tylenol flu and cold. Again, I'm not diagnosing, I'm just suggesting. You may have something else, but I do know that there's an elderberry cold that has different things to help fight the virus also. I tend to go toward more natural things as the elderberry, but if I need something for pain, you know, um, I use Tylenol. Fatigue can be fought with emergency C. I say emergency C. I tell people all the time about emergency C. I've been saying this in all the videos because emergency C has those three B's in there that you will need for energy, because the fatigue is real and the body aches. So you want to drink this throughout the day. If you can force down 2 packages of emergency C, get vitamin C is not going to harm you. Plus, I want to also say that it has the natural minerals in there that is going to help boost your immune system. If you don't have an appetite, soup is good, tea is good, boost is good because it has a lot of vitamins, minerals in there, that you need to keep your body healthy. And I recommend drinking pineapple juice because pineapple juice has an anti-inflammatory in it. It keeps the inflammation down in your body. So it is a good juice to drink. Plus, it has vitamin C in it. And just take care of yourself. The virus runs its course. There are things that with me, it did. I'm older. Some people have stronger immune systems, so it doesn't take as hard. They don't take a hard hit. They may have the virus for a week. Some have it for less than a week, depending on how many times you've had it. I want to say that, some people had it for the first time and oh, it nailed us. And then some people had it for the first time and their bodies fought it off. Now, there are some antivirals, natural antivirals that people use. I just want to encourage you to look those up. Uh, as far as your personal use, um, I will come back and talk about some antivirals as I plan to come back and talk about um, the antivirals. And it's something else I want to talk about also. I'll come back with another video on how to get through the COVID And I know a lot of people um, just don't have the knowledge about nutrition and what our bodies need. We've also been recommending vitamin D3 and zinc because if you have a deficiency, then your body will take longer to fight off COVID. If you have any kind of deficiency or any type of iron deficiency where you have low blood, then if you're already your body's already iron deficient, it's going to take, you're going to have more fatigue, I should say that, because you already are anemic and you may be dealing with fatigue because you're anemic. But a lot of people don't understand that about their bodies. They just think, oh, I'm just so tired. No, if you're drinking plenty of water, getting rest, and you are a young person and you are fatigued before you get COVID, oh, wow, the fatigue is going to be worse. So you want to make sure that you're not anemic. And if you are, and you don't find out about this until you get COVID, there are some good herbal iron, natural iron that you can take. And I will come back and talk about that too, but I just want to give you one that's affordable, and that is black strap molasses. And you can get that at a Whole Food store or you can buy it online from Amazon. It's called black strap molasses. It is high in natural iron and it is like molasses. So it's not going to constipate you the way some iron do that you get those prescriptions for. But if all you have is a prescribed iron, take it because you need to build up your blood. I hear people talking about building up their immune system, but you got to build your blood up too. Amen. And so, and make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you're diabetic, you want to get those blood sugars under control because when you get COVID, it's going to be tough to balance them, to get them under control, and also asthmatic people. But I'm pretty sure you're all under doctor's care. So consult with your doctor. This is for information purposes. And also, before I go, I also want to talk about and Regina King and her son that we've been hearing on social media committed suicide. I don't know what to believe until things come out a little bit more. We have to go with what we're seeing. But I pray for her. She's a mother. I pray for her strength through her grieving. Her son was pretty young. For any mother child that goes through that is very heartbreaking. So as mothers, our children need us no matter how old they are. Um, and we need to speak to them also, but we need to also know that they know God, and that taking your life should never enter into your thoughts. It should never enter in your thoughts. Um, because life is worth living. And we need to find our purpose in life. And I don't want to get too much into that because that's a whole nother video on suicide and dealing with our brains and our minds and those thoughts and what takes us to wanting to end our lives. Some things, some life changing things, some things are devastating, some things are so painful to us that we can't bear them. Where there's someone who can help you to bear, there's a power that's stronger than us that helps us to bear. Don't allow yourself to get in that sunken place. And if you have to be careful that you're not around people who are going to put you in that sunken place, that you would even let that thought enter into your mind, into your brain. So I just want to leave that with you and say, stay safe, protect yourself in this pandemic. We will get through this. This shall pass. So may God keep you. May He turn His face to shine upon you and give you peace and joy in your life. I love you all. Please leave your comments and questions. And I just want to say, I love you all. Don't forget to like and follow, subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.